Listen up. There's a deliberate exclusion of women in political leadership and elective offices in Nigeria. These days, I realize that gender issues are a delicate topic for many women and men alike.
But they're absolutely crucial, especially when it relates to exclusion of women from a political space.
Our customs and traditions bear testament to the relevance of women, especially when we have sayings like,
when you educate a man, you educate an individual. When you educate a woman, you educate a generation.
And when sleeping women wake, mountains move. Women's voices remain unheard in the society, with our public institutions severely unbalanced, skewed and opposed to women taking their deserved place at the decision-making table.
Some people say that the system is rigged against women.
The statistics are very dire. Why is it that we only occupy a dismal 4% of the seats in the National Assembly, when the global average is 25.4%? I'll show you the reasons for this trend. I'll even show you what we can do about it.
Direct discrimination and a complex pattern of hidden barriers prevents the emergence of women as candidates in Nigeria.
These include culture, religion, limited financial resources,
almost non-existent political access,
the education factor,
the dearth of mentorship,
other stereotypes, and an emerging trend of scary proportions.
Political violence.
Yes, political violence. However, the bigger barriers exist within our political environment that advertently or inadvertently disenfranchises women. Now that we know the problem, how can we fix it? We must situate the responsibility for addressing women's underrepresentation on our political institutions, not on the women.
Globally, countries have increasingly turned to affirmative action policies
and temporary special measures to address this and have had resounding success. Since the special measures have worked, are they worth replicating in Nigeria? Temporary special measures refer to positive actions
or measures aimed at accelerating women's political representation and correcting past and current forms of discrimination against women.
A popular measure is quotas. Quotas come in different types. For instance, there's reserved seats quotas where a certain number of percentage of seats in a legislative body are reserved for underrepresented groups. In this case, I talk about the woman. Legislated candidate quotas. This is where a law mandates political parties to field a minimum percentage of candidates from either gender. There's also voluntary candidate quota, where political parties pledge to field a minimum percentage of women candidates. Quotas, affirmative action policies, or special measures, whichever you decide to call it, are not a new concept in Nigeria. Our government agencies apply state quotas for employment.
Our universities use catchment areas to determine which students get admitted.
How can similar measures be applied to benefit women in politics?
First, we must amend the Constitution to allow for laws or administrative practices that create an advantage for women running for elective office.
This could also include insertion of a clear provision allowing for affirmative action. Second, we must amend the Electoral Act 2010 to either mandate political parties to have at least 35% of their candidate lists to be filled by women, or to ensure that no one gender takes up more than 2/3 of their candidate list. How can we get this done? This is where we need you.
We can call on the executive to reflect 35% of women in appointive positions and to support legislative initiatives on affirmative action in line with Nigeria's gender policy.
We can speak with our men, our fathers, husbands, brothers, friends, traditional and religious leaders about the need to lend their voices to the cause. We most definitely can't do it alone.
And please Get involved with the legislature and collaborate with the National Assembly. Talk to your representatives and ask them questions when they come home.
Most importantly, we collectively need to build a strong movement around this issue. The gender agenda can no longer be a fringe conversation. With a common goal, strong advocacy, mass action, I honestly believe we can increase the number of women in elective positions and attempt to balance out the scales. So don't just watch this video, share, retweet, and talk to everybody about it, friends, families, and co-workers.
Every voice matters. If we do nothing,
nothing